Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Coach Juan. I'm just here with a little breakdown of Lucas Giolito, one of my favorite guys to watch pitch in the major leagues. His development over the years has been incredible, and primarily his ability to change his arm action from one year to the next was pretty uncanny, and it's very difficult to change it as drastically as he did. Typically, you're able to tweak things in an off season, but he just revamped the entire thing, the entire arm action. So if you've never seen him throw, go check him out prior to this past season and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But the focus of this video today is going to be more geared towards his lower half and then his trunk. So we're going to talk about a couple variables within this throw. This throw is obviously from the slide step. We have a runner on first base. So there's a runner on from the slide step, and then he also throws a changeup. So he's throwing a changeup here as well. So a bunch of variables that are making this throw as hard as it can possibly be for a major leaguer. But a lot of youth players and just players in general, even the professional ranks, struggle with that combination. Runners on from the slide step, throw a changeup, throw it effectively. Okay, one of the tougher things to do for a pitcher. So we're going to focus on his lower half and show how he's able to still stay strong, put himself in good, strong positions throughout his delivery with his lower half and trunk to allow him to deliver a good elite throw. So he's definitely an elite mover, great athlete, and let's just go over right from the very beginning what the back leg looks like as the front leg comes up. So we get our leg off, our stride leg off the ground, and you see immediately that weight shift going towards the plate, but it's not flying and it's not crashing down. We see that back leg in particular, let's just stop it here, that back leg is still in a good strong position. The shin is relatively vertical, but he's able to almost be in a squatted position, or this is basically sitting into your back leg. When you're able to do this right here, where that back leg is still externally rotated, we're using proper muscle groups, we're not quad dominant within our delivery, we are into that back hip, the upper half is coiling over the back hip as his body is traveling forward. It's a very elite and very difficult move to do. You need very strong hip abductors, and you need to have a very good understanding of what the feeling is to create this move. That's why a lot of athletes will deadlift, and a lot of baseball players will trap bar deadlift in particular, because it allows you to push off the heel more than anything, and you're able to actually feel this move more than any other move within baseball, is the ability to be into your heel, allowing that back foot to be incredibly connected into the rubber. As you see that heel, that back heel isn't budged. That entire foot is into the ground. It's distributed evenly throughout the ground, if anything slightly into the heel because we have our vertical shin. That back knee is not drifting over the toe. I know it's very difficult to see from this angle, but it's not. So if we continue and travel forward within the delivery, do you see how he's able to sustain that position, that like quarter squat position? The hips are back, the shin is vertical, the knee is behind the toe, and he's still sitting into that back hip, and the upper body, the torso, isn't rotating yet, and rotation is not initiated with the upper half. So his upper half is sitting over his back hip for a very, very long time within his stride. So if you look at the stride itself, right, just before that front foot starts and initiates rotation of the body, that back heel is still connected into the ground. That foot is still connected into the ground. And if we stop it about right here, we see that lower half. It's just absolutely incredible. His ability to stay externally rotated, to stay seated into the back hip and feel like he's just into his glutes and into his hamstrings as much as he possibly can, with the torso still, again, coiled over. The torso is coiled over. It's resisting. The upper half is resisting the forward move of the legs. And it's one of the hardest things to accomplish within your delivery, is traveling forward with the upper half staying quiet over the back hip as long as possible until rotation is initiated and sequenced from the bottom on up. Now rotation begins to occur, and you see it starts with the feet, and that front foot starts rotating open just before foot strike. So if we travel this all the way to foot strike, and foot strike is a very good spot to see the pitcher's timing of the lower and upper half, his ability to separate the hips to shoulder, and where his arm slot is within his throwing delivery. So I really like stopping guys at foot strike because it gives you a very good indication of how he understands his body downhill throughout his stride. So we're still separated. Shoulders are closed and back. Hips are beginning to pop open. The arm is in a very, very strong, good position. Now, one little tidbit that I will talk about the upper half, it's going to be his glove. We see how his glove is tucked, and he is one of the more severe glove tuckers in the major leagues today. But notice where his glove is tucked. It is way on the left side of his body. It's not even close to even the middle of his chest, right? And if you want to tuck your glove, that's exactly where it needs to be. It needs to be on the left side or on the glove side of your torso, not severely into the middle of your chest. And I can go on and on about that, but it essentially, the glove can become the brake pad to your arm. And the closer the glove gets tucked harshly into the middle of your body, in the middle of your sternum, the faster your arm is going to slow down. Okay, so that's one of the biggest reasons, because the shoulders and the hands need to mirror each other throughout rotation, throughout the entire delivery. And in order to do that, the glove needs to be on the glove side. Whether you're a Garrett Cole type guy who allows that glove to really detach from the body, or if you're a Lucas Giolito guy who gets that glove attached to the body. But back to the lower half, and let's travel through rotation to pitch release. And we get to pitch release. Pitch release happens between these two frames. And we see a magnificent forward trunk tilt. And by that, you see how his trunk is forward and pretty darn close to parallel. So you want your torso to basically be neutral spine and as close to parallel to the ground as possible. And this is a byproduct of a number of different things, from proper force production, proper sequencing, and even flexibility. If you have tight hamstrings, glutes, lower back issues, it's going to be really difficult to get to this spot. Okay, so there's a number of different things, and you be very self-aware on why it is that you're not getting to this position. Okay, maybe some of you guys are very upright within your throws, but this is pretty darn elite, this move right here, in this position that he's in at pitch release. And we see that front leg as well beginning to block or stiffen or pistol or straighten out, whichever way you want to phrase it, but that's good energy production. If that leg is able to stiffen out and stay put, you're able to transfer all of your energy all the way up the body and out into the baseball. As we continue here, he continues to rotate and back to the glove. Remember how harshly it was tucked to the body? We actually see the glove appear right here, and then the back elbow is right there, allowing the throwing hand to almost replace it and follow. It follows the glove, and he's able to follow through over his hip as opposed to maybe crashing up against his quad or crashing up against his arm. Very, very elite mover, very elite movement from Lucas Giolito. He does a lot of things well, but considering all of the variables within this throw, runner on first, slide step, change up, grip, he's able to perform an absolute elite throw within this delivery.